Hi, Internet. I'm John Appleseed. Thanks so much for joining me today as we do the Saturday Stumper Crossword puzzle for this week. I like to do this every week to try and challenge myself and get better at crossword puzzles. Stanley Newman is always the editor. There are a variety of constructors. Today we've got Matthew Sewell, but Stanley Newman edits the clues to make them deliberately ambiguous with various readings, so you have to figure out what the clue is talking about in order to solve the puzzle. Typically no theme. So let's see how we do today. Usually I'll have to use a couple of reveals toward the end in order to complete the puzzle, but I have done it with no hints, so let's hope today is one of those days where we get it with no hints. Let me make sure the timer is running, and let's get into the puzzle. One across is Northwest Mutual's HQ. It reminds me of Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. It's a TV show I used to watch a lot. That's nothing to do with it. 12 across. It's on the crossing the Atlantic stamp of 1992. Crossing the Atlantic stamp of 1992. I'm not sure what that is. 15 across is about an hour's drive from Park City. Park City's in Utah. We might have another Utah city here, or I think if you went east from Park City, you might get into Colorado. So maybe it's Aspen, another ski resort. 18 across is Honeyed Bunch. Don't know. 20 across, Pumpkin. The kin of a pump. Maybe another kind of shoe or something like a bicycle pump. 24 across, Patient Assessor. One who assesses a patient. Assess can be a financial assessment. Is this something about medical billing, maybe? I don't know. 12 down, Peeps at some concerts. Oh, 1 down is Hyde's Quarters. Hyde's Quarters with a question mark. I'm not sure what that is getting at. 2 down, Push Back. No, 3 down, Much of Joan of Arc's Paris statue. I don't think I saw that when I was in Paris. Don't know what it would be. Is it the material it's made out of, maybe? 4 down, More Than Dislike. Maybe a strong hatred or abhorrence or something like that. Okay, nothing so far in the puzzle. That's not unusual. 5 across, First Woman in the World Football Hall of Fame, 2013. The World Football Hall of Fame, the world there makes me think this is soccer football rather than American football. Mia Hamm is a female soccer player. She might have been the first woman to get into that institution. 13 across, Vocalist in Elvish languages. Is this a singer or just someone who speaks Elvish? Were there any well-known Elvish singers from the books or films? Not that I can think of. 16 across, Snail Mail and Dumb Phones. Sort of early electronic technology. I don't know. 5 down, Sammy of a sort. A Sammy can be a sandwich, or this could be someone named Sammy. 6 down, The Sky is Blanked, crammed with shadowy fish. A quote from Neruda, a poet. The sky is also crammed with shadowy fish? 7 down, Enduring Belief. Might be a myth. Let's try that. 8 down, Madonna inspiration. An inspiration for Madonna the pop singer or for Madonna from classical art? No. Vocalist in Elvish languages. 16 across is Snail Mail and Dumb Phones. Sammy of a short. Okay, not getting anything here. 17 down, Fast Blank. Nope. 14 down is Practice. 9 across, first item to be called Crimson in the 15th century. Something red colored, I would imagine. Nope. 14 across, They're More Than Phases. No. 16 across, it's a Snail Mail. 9 down, Stretch Without Success. So a long stretch of time without success, like a slump like a baseball player might have. 10 down, Root for a Fall. Not sure. And 11 down, Cats Finale. That might just be the letter S, the finale of the word cats. I kind of like that. Seems like a Saturday Stumper kind of clue. First, is this a die? The first time crimson was used was in reference to a die. Root for a fall. Is that kind of a schadenfreude where you cheer at somebody's stumble? Or is it the root of a tree? U is a tree, but I don't understand why it would be for a fall. This would be a D. Stretch without success. Nope. 14 across, the more than phases. And 18 across is a honeyed bunch. Okay, not getting much there. 21 across, spike. No, did I look at 24 across? Patient assessor. Yep. Okay, not much in the top third of the puzzle. 25 across with plenty of sauce. No, 29 across is small bug or bud. Can't get that. 22 down. You're likely to keep tabs on them. Tabs on a browser, tabs on something you keep tabs on. I think it's some other meaning of tabs other than to keep an eye on someone, to watch over someone. 23 down, some summit VIPs. No, don't know that. 30 across, Buddhist meditation aids. Probably need some crossing letters for that. 4 down was more than dislike. 19 down is quasi-judicial government agency. Probably need some crossing letters for that. 26 down, byline first in print about 2,500 years ago. Byline is typically the author and the place and the date, maybe, where a piece is written in a newspaper. 2,500 years ago. I don't know what that would be. 27 down, landing area. Nope, 28 down, sanction. Sanction, one of those funny words that can mean to either permit or to disallow something. Penitential text for 34 across. Penitential meaning repentant. So a text to say you're sorry, would it just be sorry as in a text message, perhaps? Byline. Is this the name of a Greek or Roman author, maybe? Landing area, sanction. 36 across is query of the convinced. No, I don't think I looked at 32 across. On a plane, briefly. No, 35 across isn't really right. Huh, not getting much in the puzzle so far. Query of the convinced. 39 across is 50 mile per hour runner. Runner. Nope, 36 down, new beginning. A prefix that can go before KNEW, or a prefix that means you knew something. Neither of those are clicking. 32 down, icebreaker, maybe an ice pick. 33 down, the Howling villains. I'm not familiar with the Howling. Could it be a werewolf movie? On a plane, briefly. PW. Sorry, don't think about that. Query of the convinced. 50 mile per hour runner. What makes it 50 mile per hour? No, 44 across, due for. You're due for a tune-up or a checkup or something like that. You're scheduled, but spell it with a K? I don't think so. 45 down is an original domain. Maybe one of the original internet domains like .com, .org, .edu. Did we look at these? 37 down, seriously now. Nope. Byline first in print. 38 down is mainland. The main land. The primary land. No. Hold off for 40 across. 41 across is the Oresteia character. The Oresteia, just by what little I know about classical literature, I think is the story of Orestes. And what is that from? Orestes What would that be? A character related to Orestes? Nope, don't know that. Okay. Due for 46 across. Owner of the Bootmobile Promotional Fleet. Not familiar with that. 48 across. Online game winner. Emote. Don't know what that means. 52 across. Less than stately. Pleasure Dome. In Xanadu did Kublai Khan a stately Pleasure Dome decree. That's what that line alludes to. What would be a less than stately Pleasure Dome? Like a messy house or something. I don't know. 52 down. Footwear sold by Blizzard. Don't know that. 53 down. Whitless. Whit. Spelled with W-H. Not one whit. A whit is a small amount of something. I don't know. 33 down is The Howling Villains. I think that's a werewolves. If this were a V, less than stately Pleasure to go home. 55 across. Pyro processing device. Pyro related to fire. Is it a fire hose? 58 across. Bovines per Nash. Probably Ogden Nash, the poet. He wrote a poem about llamas. 1L llamas and 2L llamas. Llama as priest and llama as the South American animal. Did he write anything about oxen or cows that would have to do with bovines? No. Witless. 45 down. An original domain. I think that's going to be one of the internet domains. Seriously now. No, 49 down. Woman entertaining honorably. Woman entertaining honorably. Not sure what's going on there. 50 down is spoonbill kin. Spoonbill kind of bird. I think a wading bird in particular. Maybe an ibis. Just a 4-letter wading bird that fits there. 51 down check. Nope. 38 down is mainland. 31 down is bites of the Big Apple. Big Apple capitalized like the city of New York. Are these New York-style pizza slices or some kind of food item you would get in the Big Apple? Maybe a Coney Island hot dog or something. I don't know. 47 down, vinaigrette enhancement. No, 41 down is call over. 42 down, coped with. And 43 down, Tyson and Brady have guested on his big podcast. Big is capitalized. Who has the big podcast? I guess it would have something to do with sports. If Mike Tyson and Tom Brady have guest hosted, or have been guests on it, I guess that means. And I don't know what that is. 41 across, that's the Orstea. Owner of the Bootmobile. Don't know what that means. 54 across. First capsule hotel city, 1979. When you say capsule hotel, I think of Tokyo. I think that was where Japan is where they were first promulgated. Like in an airport, you could just rent a little pod to sleep in for a while. 57 across 3 to an Israeli. I visited Israel and learned some basic Hebrew. Ahat Stein Salosh, something like that. I don't remember the numbers. I'm kind of embarrassed to admit that. 60 across, push or pull exercise equipment. No. 31 down, bites of the Big Apple. I've looked at all of these. What is something you would add to vinaigrette? Vinaigrette is a basic recipe. It's oil and vinegar. You might add mustard. You might add lots of things. Can't think of one that would fit if Tokyo is correct. Call over. Something like wave to. Call over. Coped with. That might end in ED. You can push or pull a sled with weights on it. That would be an exercise. Well, okay. Didn't get anything on my first pass through the puzzle. I don't even know if any of these are right. Where should we look? Maybe here in this corner. 9 across. Its first item to be called crimson. I'm going to guess that is a die. I'm going to guess U as root for a fall. I don't think that's right. They're more than phases. So a lengthy period of time could be in an era. Stretch without success. A dry spell is a time where you're not succeeding. Okay. Snail mail and dumb phones. And root for a fall. Yam is a root vegetable. That I associate with Thanksgiving. So maybe it is a root for a fall feast. These are probably some kind of onyms. A name that snail mail and dumb phones. Yeah, I think that is right, but I don't know what the beginning is. 14 down, practice. If you have a practice that you do that is kind of a ritual, a routine, a habit, none of those fit. Honeyed bunch. And spike for 21 across. Spike. No, 8 down is Madonna inspiration. Fast blank, fast blank. Okay, honeyed bunch, 21 across, that's spike. Well, can't get any of these. I like dry spell crossing with eras. That seems to work. I'm not crazy about yam, but it seems to be working so far. A spike is two spike could be something like impale. 29 across, small bug or bud. A small bug. A short word for a friend is a small bud or a small, I don't know, 2 down. You're likely to keep tabs on them. Probably ends in an S. And 35 across isn't really right. Ales might be okay. I'm ailing. I'm not completely right. Practice. Bites of the Big Apple. 23 down is some summit VIPs. What does summit mean here? Are these mountain climbers? VIPs is kind of an abbreviation, so maybe we have another abbreviated answer here. Summit isn't some kind of publication. It's not editors. No, I don't know that. Spike. Okay, not much luck there. I don't know what this means. Vocalist in Elvish languages. Is it just somebody who speaks Elvish? What if ham is wrong? Sammy of a sword. A hero is a sandwich. Enya is a singer who sings in Elvish. She recorded a song for the Lord of the Rings soundtrack that had Elvish in it. Okay, let's try that. The sky is Anu or Anon, crammed with shadowy fish. Is thinking of poetic words that might fit there, as Neruda is a poet. The sky is Anu, crammed with shadowy fish. Is he referring to clouds there? I don't know. 16 across, snail mail and dumb phones are retronyms. They are names for things that are retroactively applied to them. Yeah, I think that works. I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly, but it certainly makes sense to me. So retronyms work. Is this Mary? The Madonna in classical art is Mary, the mother of Jesus. So is it something related to Mary, like Marian, like an adjective derived from Mary? Honeyed bunch. Fast. Fast out, fast off, fast. Nothing's clicking there. Okay, practice. I'm practicing this. I'm engaging in it. I'm not crazy about that. This were an I or a Y, maybe. Is it like whippoorwills or wheels, maybe? Nothing's clicking. Okay, spike. Nope. I like this little section. Ham, hero, anew, and myth all seem to fit. Are they hives? Hives would have honey. This would be a V. Fast. No. 19 down is quasi-judicial government agency. An agency that has quasi-judicial powers, so they can make rulings. Like, can OSHA do that? No. 4 down. More than dislike. I'm thinking it's something like abhorrence. It could be a verb or a noun. Northwest Mutual sounds like an insurance corporation, and a lot of insurance companies are headquartered in Connecticut, Hartford especially. Let's just write Connecticut. HQ is abbreviated in the clue, so we'll have an abbreviation in the answer as well. Hides quarters. A fourth of a skin. Hides quarters? I don't know what that means. Push back. And much of Joan of Arc's Paris statue. Is it nickel or something like that? More than dislike. No, 12 across. It's on the crossing the Atlantic stamp of 1992. What famous Atlantic crossings do we have? So Columbus, one of Columbus's ships, 1992 would be the 500th anniversary of Columbus. Okay, I was thinking Lindbergh, the Titanic, Columbus came to me there, so maybe the Nina Pinta and Santa Maria, or Pinta would be a single word. Let's try that. And 1992 would be the 500th anniversary of Columbus, so that does make a lot of sense. Peeps at some concerts. Don't know what that means. Hides quarters. 2 down, push back. I don't like an NT beginning. Let's take out Connecticut. Maybe most of her statue is stone for the Joan of Arc statue. This could be something else. Maybe it's Massachusetts. Same thought there, state abbreviation. Hides quarters. Like hiding a quarter in somebody's ear? Is it a magic trick? More than dislike. 15 across is about an hour's drive from Park City. Think of a place in Utah that would fit here, or western Colorado. Kind of like aspen. Hides quarters. Peeps at some cost. I don't know what that means. All right, honeyed bunch. I should be able to get this. A bunch of flowers, a bunch of something you put honey on. Is it like Cheerios or honey bunches of oats, something like that? No, 20 across pumpkin. I think this is going to be a kind of shoe. And patient assessor. Peeps, that might be an S. So maybe somebody who assesses things patiently. A patient assessor. That doesn't make any sense either. Okay, hides quarters. Something about minting coins. Not didn't get anything there. Pumpkin, 25 across with plenty of sauce. So some kind of word like sassy or something like that. Wow, 25 minutes in, I have nothing in this puzzle except this top middle section. Quasi-judicial government agency. I think about OSHA being there. Byline first in print about 2,500 years ago. So this would be about 500 BCE. Which puts us, I think, into Greek. Landing area. I don't know that sorry is right. Let's check it out. Where do you land? On a field? Sanction. But let's just try allow. That's one meaning of sanction. See if that helps. Buddhist meditation aids. Or those prayer drums that you spin. Or it could be some kind of a prayer wheel. Might end in S. Some Summit VIPs also probably ends in S. You're likely to keep tabs on them. Practice and bites of the Big Apple. Well, I don't want to start using hints with nothing in the puzzle yet. On a plane. Briefly. On an airplane or on a geometric plane. Flat. Icebreaker. Well, let's take out pick, I guess. Kind of liked it. Penitential text. I am thinking this is a text message that you might send to say, I'm sorry. Hold off. Do for an original domain. Let's just try com, edu, org. No, that doesn't help. See if we can build something around IBIS down here. 56 is the pupillary zone home. Okay, your pupil is in your iris, in your eye. Okay. 59 across near blank. Could be near east. 37 down. Seriously now. 49 down. Woman entertaining honorably. Is it... I feel like this is one of those cryptic, like the name Nora is in the word honorably, but really that would be woman entertained by honorably. However, a lot of Saturday Stumper clues kind of aren't quite grammatical. So let's try that. Let's try Near East for 59 across, 51 down, check. Check can mean to put a hold on something, to be an obstacle. Can it be test? Let me check on it. Let me test it. Yeah, I like that. Emote. Is this something you do online to express emotions? I don't know what that would be. Is this some kind of Adobe house, maybe? A less than stately pleasure dome. This would be a D for 37 down. Seriously now. Seriously now. Probably something like, alrighty. No, I'm not crazy about either of those. Okay. Emote. Don't know what blizzard is, or what three-letter footwear is there? There's a moccasin, a mock. There's an UGG boot. Is that made by Blizzard? I would think it would be made by UGG. Bovines per Nash. Pyroprocessing device. Witless. Werewolves doesn't even fit. What else would be a villain in the Howling? Howling must have something to do with wolves, right? Wolves or werewolves, or what else? Howl. Dogs, wild dogs. That fits. Online game winner emote. Nope. Do for. Something that runs 50 miles per hour. Query of the convinced and 32 across on a plane briefly. Not getting that. Let's look down here again. I'm pretty confident about Tokyo. It's a city. Yeah, so it's not Japan or anything like that. This might end in an S, as bites of the Big Apple. I think there's some kind of food ad item. Sled was something I was thinking about. You've seen those sleds that you put weights on. You can either push them or pull them. Maybe there's some kind of oil. Although, yeah, vinaigrette is oil and vinegar, so I don't think that would be an enhancement. That would be an ingredient. Call over. Is it talk to? I'm calling somebody over to join me. That's what I'm thinking this means. Is N in an O? Three to an Israeli. And coped with. That's probably an E. Oh, it's not obeyed. It's not. Is it okayed? Is it something like that? What's a three-letter character from Greek mythology? Or is it a Greek letter? I don't know why that would be the case. Okay. Don't know what a bootmobile is. Wow, I'm not getting anything today. And it's been over a half hour. So Matthew Stool and Stanley Newman are really ruining my weekend here. Practice. Let's find out what's about an hour's drive from Park City. And that'll give us, or we could look up Joan of Arc's Paris statue. That's what we could look up easily. Let's reveal that. I'm going to reveal this word. Oh, she's on a horse. Okay, so it's her steed. Then I think Aspen might fit for an hour's drive from Park City. I'm going to guess that's right. Peeps. Are these people at some concerts? Or is peeps as a verb to peak at a concert? None of those make any sense. Hyde's quarters. Mrs. Like Hyde's push back. And more than dislike. Okay, I know Steed is correct. I think Pinta and Aspen are correct. I don't know what's going on with Massachusetts, although I like it. Job is an epitome of patience from the Bible. Does that make any sense? Peeps at some concerts. Hyde's quarter. I just don't know what that means. To push back is to unpull. Okay, I'm gonna have to get another reveal. Let's just check to see if Aspen is correct. It's not correct. Okay, Ogden is a city in Utah. Let's try that. Then peeps at some concerts. Hyde's quarters. Push back. Let's check Pinta. Not doing very well today. Pinta looks like it's correct. And honeyed bunch. A wedge is a kind of shoe. Okay, let's find out where Northwest Mutual's headquarters is. That's also something I could easily look up. I'm going to reveal this word. Okay, it's Wisconsin. Did not think of that. Okay. Hyde's quarters doesn't make any sense to me. I already checked Pinta, didn't I? Pinta is right. So Wisconsin, Pinta, and Ogden are correct. Let me check this again. Yeah, that's right. Okay. What makes sense 4, 12 down. Peeps at some concerts. I'm dying of curiosity here. Posse. Okay, so, oh, I spelled wedge wrong too, didn't I? Well, for heaven's sake, how am I ever going to solve the puzzle if I can't even spell the words correctly? So a posse, I guess that's somebody you would go to a concert with? I'm not crazy about that clue. Maybe a sandal is another kind of shoe for a pump. Hides quarters, a living space made out of skins might be a wigwam. Okay, I think now we're on the right track. So Ogden is right. Push back to an indent, like a text something. A patient assessor, an EMT assesses patients. Okay, so I think I had to reveal Wisconsin, Pinta, Ogden. I checked to see if it was right. I got that from Steed, so that's 4 reveals, plus this one posse is 5. All right, well, let's see if we can use this to build on the rest of the puzzle. Okay, so a honeyed bunch is going to be a sweet, what? If you more than dislike someone, you can't abide them, maybe. Is it a sweet tooth? Oh, I think retronyms is right. I think Enya and Ham are right. Sweet tooth. Honeyed bunch? No. That's probably a W. 19 down is quasi-judicial government agency. With plenty of sauce. Oh, I thought this would help. It doesn't. Okay, gonna reveal this one as well. Sweet nothings. The line from Neruda is, the sky is a net. Okay, it's 2 words. The sky is a net crammed with shadowy fish. The sky looks like a net full of fish that looks like clouds. Okay. Sweet nothings are a bunch of things you say to your honey, I guess. Okay. The Saturday Stumper has a lot of clues like this where they just don't quite make sense. The National Labor Relations Board might have quasi-judicial powers in mediating labor disputes. Let's try that. Sandal looks right. Myth looks right. So I think this is Marianism or the worship of Mary. Or something else, something like that. Fast one, to pull a fast one, I guess that works. Spike. And with plenty of sauce. Practice. Is it engage in? I was kind of thinking of that. Something like that. Something about engaging in something. Okay, then spike. Is it a C something? Small bug or bud. A germ, a bug can be a bacteria. Okay, then your small bud could be like a germ of wheat. So what are the summit VIPs? Like a political summit, you have prime ministers there. Spike is to be a pip. What? You're likely to keep tabs on Oars, arcs. Buddhist some kind of bells for the meditation aid URLs for what you keep tabs on. To leap up is to spike. That doesn't make any sense. Like a spike in, statistically, we have a spike of this thing occurring, so it would leap up on a graph. Yeah, I'm going to quibble with some of these. I give the Saturday Stumper a lot of leeway, but some of these clues just aren't making sense to me. Okay, Marilyn Monroe. Maybe she was an inspiration for Madonna, the pop star. Okay, let's try that. With plenty of sauce. I'm going to take out allow. Is it like brawny or something like that? And then what kind of bells? Tibetan bells might be Buddhist meditation aid. 26 down. That's our byline. Aesop was writing, probably. I don't know when Aesop's fables were written, but 500 years BCE, maybe working. Sauce can be strength. So wait, is it brawny or bratty? Sauce as in a sassy attitude. A landing area is a landing strip. We get brassy, sassy attitude, sassy and brassy. Okay, sanction. To say yes, that we do get sorry as a text message to be penitential. If you say no, are you sanctioning something? Or your allowance of something is your say-so of it. Okay, so I like that. That's the top half of the puzzle done with, I don't know, 6 or 7 clues I had to reveal. Okay, on a plane, briefly, you are aboard. Could that be abbreviated as ABRD, maybe? Trashed. I don't think I've looked at this clue. Trashed. Nope. Icebreaker. I still like pick for that. And the Howling Villains. What's 36 across? Query of the convinced. That's not clicking. Okay. Bites of the Big Apple. Are they bagel something? If you're convinced, somebody's giving you a sales pitch, they've convinced you, you might ask, where do I sign? Bagel what? As bites of the Big Apple. Hold off. To oppose someone could be to hold them off. Main can mean sea. I actually thought of this, but I thought it was too far-fetched. So if you think of Maine as the sea, a land in the sea is an isle, then owner of the Bootmobile promotional fleet. Is it Lloyd's of London? Boots is a pharmacy in the UK. I like everything I've got in the puzzle so far, at least above this, where do I sign? Okay, 36 down, new beginning. Who knew? Just a word that can go before new. Icebreaker. Ahoy, something you say to start a conversation. A 50-mile-per-hour runner. And due for. You are owed something, maybe? Okay, let's take out aboard. That doesn't look right. But an icebreaker, if it's not an ice pick. What is something you use to break the ice, like at a party or something, to introduce yourself? I don't know. On a plane, briefly. And due for. What about this? 37 down. Seriously now. It's time to take it seriously. It's do or die time. Maybe this is some kind of Adobe for the less than sightly pleasure dome. An original domain. Is a domain in the sense of air, land, and sea, maybe. If you're due for online game winner emote. Is it a Fortnite something? Seriously, don't die? Is there some kind of dance or something you can do while playing Fortnite to indicate your celebration? I think that's the sense that this is going after. Is a bagelette a thing, like a small bagel? Fortnite dance, maybe. Bagel dogs. Okay, maybe it's Osaka, another Japanese city, not Tokyo. You can put basil in vinaigrette. I'm not a fan of basil, but a lot of people like it. Call over. Three to an Israeli. Gimel. No, Gimel's a letter. LL Bean makes boots and footwear. Okay, they may be the owner of the Bootmobile fleet. Call over. To call someone over again is to rename them. Okay, again, very, very, very misleading there. It's not a synonym. I'm going to call you over. I'm going to rename you. Okay. Gimel, I think that's the third letter of the Israeli alphabet. So Aleph, Bet, Gimel. Yeah, let's try that. Then maybe Shaquille O'Neal, he might have a podcast called The Big Podcast. He's a big person. Rho is a Greek letter that is probably the second character in the name, Orestia, or Orestes. Hacked, cope with. Okay, all right. I like this corner. Fortnite dance and Osaka. Wow, Tokyo I put in very early in the puzzle. And it turned out to be incorrect, and that threw me off for this whole section. Okay, we just got this corner left. Not a very good solve for me today, but that happens. I still get a lot of enjoyment out of these. Okay, so on a plane, briefly. It's 50 mile per hour runner. Due for some kind of Adobe, maybe, for the less than stately pleasure dome. 55 across is pyro processing device, and 58 across bovines per Nash. Footwear sold by Blizzard. 53 down is Witless. 33 down is The Howling Villains. Nope. And 30 down is Trashed. Tor something. What's 45 down? An original domain. Maybe it's .org. Less than stately pleasure globe. Is it some kind of globe? Don't lie for serious. Okay, that makes more sense than don't die. Is this a snow globe? That is a pleasure dome. You shake it and it gives you pleasure, but it's less than stately. I guess, okay, I'll allow that. Footwear. Witless. Are you some kind of fowl? The howling villains. This is something I could look up too, couldn't it? Trashed, tore down, or torn down maybe. Icebreaker. On a plane. I'm on a plane. I'm on the same level as you, the same tier. An E or an N here. Why did I think 36 down was who? Who knew? If you're due for, you are owed on. Does that make sense? All right, let's pretend that I've Googled the Howling to see who the bad guys were. Werefolk. All right, I thought it was going to be werewolf, not werefolk. So then on a plane. Don't know what that is. Maybe hares can travel at 50 miles per hour. That sounds about right. Icebreaker would be a thaw. So if you are owed money on such and such a date, you are due for that money on that such and such a date. Okay, again, don't really like that. Thaw is icebreaker. Okay, this is a geometric plane, two-dimensional. As opposed to 3D, this is 2D. It's on the same plane, but not in the same, on the z-axis. Okay, there we go. Almost done. A kiln has something to do with processing something else by fire. It is a pyroprocessing device. Ski must be, Blizzard sounds like a ski company, doesn't it? Bovines are ilk. Witless could be nil, as in nothing. I don't know why bovines are ilk. Maybe there's a poem where he talks about different kinds of animals, and he calls them ilks, animals of that ilk. So bovines are one of them. I think L might finish the puzzle. That was it. I didn't come anywhere near to solving that puzzle, despite what the little congratulations message says. I'll have to go back and count exactly how many things I revealed, but there were a lot. This was more than I usually have to reveal to get a puzzle completely filled in. Werefolk, I was thinking along the right lines, just didn't think of what other what other word might come after where. A lot of these clues, I just don't like the answer. They just doesn't go with it. Spike is leap up. Like an upturn in economic statistics or something, that could be a spike, but not really a leap up. If that were the only one, I'd be okay, but there were a couple of those like that. I liked sorry. I had that in early, but I didn't think of Aesop or landing strip. That's actually pretty straightforward. For landing area is the landing strip. I should have gotten that. And then sanction as say so. All right, let me know in the comments how you did with this one. This is a puzzle where I really should have done it over a couple days. But as I've commented before, I like to do these videos as kind of a scrapbook for each puzzle solve. And I like to do it in one go. Just as a kind of... for editing reasons for one, but also because I like it to be kind of a coherent, have the solve be one sitting, as it were. All right, let me know how you did, what you thought of this puzzle. If there are any of these clues that you thought were, maybe I'm being too nitpicky, I'm being kind of expressing some sour grapes, as Aesop might have said, where I said, well, that's not a fair clue just because I couldn't figure it out, but maybe it really is fair, and I just being a little grouchy because I couldn't get it right away. Tokyo really messed me up. Bagel dogs I probably would have gotten sooner if I didn't have Tokyo there, and I was really confident about Tokyo. All right. Thanks for joining me. Please come back for more puzzling games. I'll see you next time.